another 15 meters, and it would have been whoever crossed the line first, if they would have been caught, would have gotten third. Yeah, and not even have known it.
Definitely would have got kind of confusing. So now we're waiting for our leaders, or not leaders, we're waiting for that pack to come by, looking for third place. There they are, all safely through that final fourth corner on the uphill sprint. It's a drag race right now, coming in right up the middle, side by side, and that is a bronze medal ride. Going to Brady Lawson, unofficially, once again, University of Montevallo, one of the collegiate racers, picking up a third. Hey, there's your two winners right there. Congratulations, Shandell, picking up that win. Are we changing the truss?
Could you use one of these bike wheels to replace your flat trailer tire?
It's all for science.
There's an unreal feeling to get lifted up by 4 leaf blowers. That is pretty cool.
Surf's up, y'all. Get ready for splashes and crashes as I try to ride tasty waves with pro surfer Cassia Metter.
Surfing is about being in communication with the ocean.
I saw its eyeball.
Surf's up, y'all. Get ready for splashes and crashes as I try to ride tasty waves with pro surfer Cassie Metter.
Surfing is about being in communication with the ocean.
I saw its eyeball.
Surf's up, y'all. Get ready for splashes and crashes as I try to ride tasty waves with pro surfer Cassie Metter.
Surfing is about being in communication with the ocean.
I saw its eyeball.
Welcome, everyone, to USA CRITS race number 2 right here in Hapeville, Georgia, right outside the Atlanta airport. A big thank you to Spin the District, the Atlanta Airport District, and the East Point Track Club for bringing race number 2 of our USA CRITS series. Many of the women traveling from Anniston, Alabama, and Sunny King to come here to Hapeville. And, of course, our 3 sprints, 5 laps in the mid-race and 5 laps from the end as the riders battled for 5 places deep with 10 points going to the winner that goes towards your overall. But in the end, Kingdom Elite, Ailina Queveda, the Cuban rider, escaped with 3 laps to go and held off a charging pack. And to her surprise, as she looked over her shoulder, second place, her teammate, Heidi Praderis, with a fist pump to be able to take victory across the line as it's 1 and 2 for Kingdom Elite with Erica Carney rounding out third. It's the 7th year for Spin the District Hapeville, and for 2025, it's the 2nd race of USA CRITS Series. Riders taking advantage of lining up on the front, attacking immediately from the gun about halfway through. Finally, we had a break of 8 riders that got away. 2 riders from Cadence, 2 riders from Foundation, and 2 riders with Flicker. And Weimer rolled down the Colombian in there as well. These riders battled against each other as the main field found themselves almost 45 seconds off the back. Very technical course, but coming out of that final turn, it was Lucas Bourgogne, the cowboy out of Austin, Texas, winning. And on our women, Ailina Queveda, Heidi Praderis, and Erica Carney. And then it's Lucas Bourgogne, Marcos Mendez, and Sam Meyer. Good evening, Newnan, and welcome as we're getting ready for race number 3 of the USA CRITS Series. We have our overall standings up on our leaderboard with a Jack Crew Leaders jersey. Tough competition going into it day number 1 in Sunny King, day number 2 in Hapeville, and we are here now for race number 3, all part of our Rock and Road Criterium, presented by 75 Jackson Properties. On the line today, 200 points for the winner, going 20 places deep and mixing it up. 3 sprints throughout the day, 1 coming 5 laps in the mid-race and 5 laps from the end. We're getting ready to be able to kick off the Rock and Road Criterium, once again presented by 75 Jackson Properties, as this is your Pro Women Rider Introductions. I'd like to be able to start off with your current overall leader, hailing from Cuba, winning yesterday. Please welcome from Kingdom Elite, Alina Quevedo. Finishing up second yesterday and now currently sitting second in the overall series. Also hailing from Cuba, Kingdom Elite, Heidi Praderas. This next rider rides for Piedmont. 2 times she has been the overall winner of the USA CRITS Series, a multi-time national Criterium champion as well. She won right here. She's your Newnan 2023 champion, Erica Carney. Hopping off the plane only 2 weeks ago from Australia. Hopping straight onto her bike to be able to pick up a race in Sunny King. 5th place yesterday in Hapeville. A previous Australian road race national champion, Peter Mullins. The international field continues with the Colombian rider coming off a 6th place at Hapeville, riding for the brand new team, the Biker Cycling Team, Luisa Parra. Coming off a win earlier this year at the Swamp Classic, picking up a 4th place yesterday. She rides for Fount Cycling Team, Lauren Baker. I guess Lauren went home. Moving on to 8th place yesterday. She was 11th here in Newnan last year, riding for Flickr, Ali LaCroix. And a rider that has been moving up in the standings, also riding for Flickr. Please welcome Izzy Harden. Rest of the riders to the line.
And there you have our women's professional field. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be very excited. The race last night was incredible. Kingdom Elite came out on top. Let's see what kind of mixture we can get into tonight. Ladies, you have 7 laps to go. No more free laps. Neutral, you guys know where the neutral pit is. If you are out of contention, you may be asked to withdraw. Other than that, make sure that you thank 75 Jackson Properties. Ladies and gentlemen, we are T-minus go time.
1 minute, riders, 1 minute. Hey, as a reminder, we got lots of preems for you. You're going to hear this. That's when the preem is going to be taking place. And when I say lots of preems, I mean lots of preems. So pay attention. We're going to split it up a little bit, not only make it for the leaders. Want you guys to have a great race as you're getting ready for your Newnan edition. You've been preparing and training and getting ready for this. Well, guess what? Training time is over because this is game time. Newnan, are you ready for the pro women? We're making some noise and we're going to send you off. Riders on the whistle. Preem, 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 preem.
All right, we've got our ladies out on course. In about 1 lap, we're going to do the 2-3 podium. All right, these women are sprinting for the first lap. Remember, if you're in the USA Crits and you win a lap, you get a point. But in this scenario, we've got the ladies sprinting for a point and on top of that, cash. First lap preem is always a way to shake the legs out. All right, so Flicker's going to grab the points and the cash. First lap done. All right, Cat 2s and 3s, your podium is coming up here in just a moment.
Hey, a big thank you to Sonoya Bike Shop, and we're gonna do a $100 preem. $100 preem winner of the lap. $100, $100, $100. $100 preem to the winner of the lap. Sonoya Bicycle, specialized retailer. Head on over there. You can find out information about the SL8, the specialized SL8, and the all-new Levo electric bicycle. So in our pro women's race, we talked about a very international field, and you got some of the fastest riders from around the nation all coming here. Talked about the riders coming out of Cuba, the Colombians, the Australians, the Canadians, all here in Newnan, trying to be able to win race number 3 of the USA Crit Series. It's the 16th year of the USA Crit Series. There's prize money available on the individual days, but also it's an overall series. Again, this is race number 3 of 9 total races. At the end, there's an overall prize list as well. So many of these riders traveling around from city to city. 2 weeks ago, we were in Anniston, Alabama. Yesterday in Hateville. Today here in Newnan. Not next week is Easter, but the weekend after that, we're going to Athens, Spartanburg, LaGrange, College Park. Then we got about a week off, and then we go to Omaha, and then Winston-Salem. Kingdom picking up that $100. Chad, where are you? Chad. Oh, I have a start sheet. I'm good with start sheet.
All right, Frankie, I have your Cat 2-3 podium. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now ready for our Cat 2-3 podium. In third place for University of Montevallo, please welcome Brady Lawson. In second place, please welcome Dillard Townley for Wheelhouse. And your winner today for Fortified Golf, please welcome Trey Fort.
Chad. We're doing points.
And we've got it figured out, Frankie. Please welcome for Cleveland Cycling Academy. Hey, give it up for Max Schindel. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Cat 2-3 podium with your winner, Max Schindel for Cleveland Cycling Academy.
Congratulations to our Category 2-3 riders. In the meantime, 5 places deep for points, and these points that they get go towards their overall, and it can make a big difference. It can mean the difference between first, second, and third, jumping up positions. Points on the line, point sprint. $300, winner to the next lap, $300 preem, $300 preem, $300 preem, $300 preem.
All right, the podium for the 2-3s are done and dusted. Back to the women's race for the sprint points. Hey, how do you become champion of USA Crits? You get maximum amount of points. You get it by 1 point at a time, or you get it mid-race. You get it during the sprints. At the end of USA Crits in Winston-Salem, that's who will determine the champion is.
Winner of our first premier overall series leader, Elena Quavado, picked up preem number 1. She was your winner yesterday, and she moved herself into the overall lead. So got to be able to watch out for this rider out of Cuba. She spent 15 months in Mexico when she fled Cuba in asylum in detention center, and then finally got out in November of last year. Challenging at the line of Shannon Koch is going to pick that up.
All right, Dylan Lindsay from our 2-3 race, please come to the start-finish line. And Dr. Smith from Radvocacy will hand you your preem.
So a few teams out here, Kingdom Elite, they've been around for a couple years. That's a team out of Florida. They have a lot of international riders on their team. SCAD Cycling, obviously there's SCAD Atlanta and SCAD Savannah, has a really good collegiate team, and they're in this race. A brand new team, a bar out of Athens, Georgia called Flicker, sponsoring the Team Flicker team, and they're in the green jerseys. So Kingdom Elite, who's leading the overall series, has about 5 riders here. They're in purple jerseys. Flicker is in green jerseys. SCAD is in the yellow jerseys. Yellow and black, that's going to be Mac Racing. You can see coming up to the front and getting ready to lead the lap through Mac Racing, and that's going to be challenged right there by Izzy Harden as they make their way through. So Deborah Milne, Superbars.com, is in this race as well. Multi-time Masters National Champion. Once again, tackling 60 minutes of racing.
Welcome again for those of you who are just now showing up. Big fun happening here. Family atmosphere at Newnan for the 2025 Rock and Road Crit presented by 75 Jackson Properties. My name is Chad Andrews. Frankie Andreu as well is joining me the entire Speed Week and USA Crits that span from as far south as LaGrange and as far west as Omaha, Nebraska at the Arc Sarban Crit. So Uncle Frankie's going to give out more cash, it looks like. Again, if you're new to the sport, a preem is a race inside of a race. When the bell's rung on the next lap, whoever wins it gets the prize.
$200 preem, winner of the lap, $200, $200, $200 preem, $200 preem, winner of the next lap.
Man, that is not a little bit of money as far as preems go. $200 cash for the winner of the next lap. Bike Coetta, Einstein, Georgia, Bone and Join, Newnan. Frankie's like a bank up here.
Riders still spread out on the backside. Nobody's attacked. Nobody's been able to get into a breakaway so far. Kingdom Elite seems to be controlling things. They have some pretty good faith, I think, in their sprinting ability. A lot of money on the line. Going to be able to see who's going to be able to take it. Kingdom Elite so far won preem number 1 and preem number 2, although with 2 different riders as they're getting ready to be able to head up this home stretch. Coming into turn number 4, once again, $200 on the line.
It looks like Kingdom Elite is taken to the front. Coming out of that turn, it looks like they're going 1-2 right now. And that was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep, Ailina Quevedo. Here's an interesting story about her. Ailina came from Cuba, tried to defect, and she was stuck And she didn't, from what I understand from the Perpinen project, is that she could not ride her bike for over 15 months. And then she shows up and wins last night. Pretty impressive. So Eilina clearly has some good legs. Means she's fresh, she's fit, and she's fast. The champagne of bike racing here in Newnan. So here's the deal. Kingdom is really trying to put a stranglehold early on the USA CRITS series. Why? Remember what I said from the top. Every time you cross the line first, you get a point. So each of their riders is gobbling up point here, point there, point here, point there. So they're hoping to stack the top of the race series, and then they can send anybody at any time to win the overall. They've been racing now for 19 minutes. 19 minutes. I want to thank Progressive in Piedmont, Georgia Bone and Joint, and of course our title sponsor, 75 Jackson Properties. Don't be surprised if Kingdom Elite does it again. Slowly, they're like a squirrel in the winter, just hoarding cash. Debbie Milne, multi-time National Masters champion, on the front for Supra. It looks like now Flicker's going to grab a point. So Allie LaCroix for Flicker picks up the point. And if you're dancing to this song, you are showing your age. Just saying. And if you know the words, you're really showing your age. And I'm one of them. Because I was born on the 21st night of September, by the way. I was. And do you remember? Hey, Ace Growers, thank you. I feel very comforting in what Ace did for us. So thank you, Ace. Growers, Coweta. Go ahead, Frankie.
No, riders a little bit more strung out as they're making their way up the hill. That's going to be Justine Thomas from Kingdom Elite Cycling Team on the front. Again, the purple jerseys trying to be able to control the race. Waiting for our riders to come around. Kylie's going to be my official bell ringer for this preem, and we're going to be giving out $200 again, another $200. We're going to be giving out over $1,500, all donated from local businesses and local individuals helping out to promote this race. And, of course, these riders, they can use it. Traveling around the country, we talked about this being race number 3 of 9. Our final race is going to Omaha, Nebraska, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And in 2 weeks, one of the biggest races in the entire United States, we will be at the Athens Twilight Criterium. But right now, the focus is here in Newnan. We're ringing a bell. $200 cash preem, $200 preem, $200 preem, $200 preem, $200 preem. Money, 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 as the party continues here in downtown Newnan.
Hey, guys, and the reason why we're offering these preems up, it's kind of like an antagonist to the race. It's creating energy, and sometimes it creates what we call a breakaway. In that scenario, some rider will go after the money, and they won't look back. They're going to be gone.
Purple jerseys have been winning the preems. Will they continue to be able to win the preems? Talked about that team out of Florida.
Again, we're waiting for the elastic band to pop, and so far the fitness level of all these ladies have not afforded a breakaway. Oh, Frankie, they are going for it now. Heidi picks it up for Kingdom Elite. Hey, what did I say about the preems causing a breakaway? You think I've done this a few times? Bingo! 4 very strong riders are gone, and there's a crash on the backside, it looks like. So, if there's a crash, up until 7 laps left to go, the riders can go into our pit, get looked over, the officials will determine where they were when they exited, and get put right back in until 7 to go. After that, c'est la vie. Well, the workhorse from yesterday, Shannon Koch, Masters National Champion, is heading into the pits because of a crash. So the riders that are coming right now, more than likely were tangled up in the crash. Oh, Peter was tangled up into it. But looks like we might be getting some new bikes here. Luis Zapata is also there. Man, there's some big names that were caught up in that crash. Prieto also caught up for Kingdom. So now I think there's going to be some governance going on because a lot of those ladies that were in the crash will get pushed right back in here. So it looks like they're putting smoke on the bee's nest. The more senior women in the race are like, hey, let's chill out for a minute.
Riders slowing down in front give a good opportunity for these riders to catch back up to the leaders. And once again, many riders are going to be coming out of that pit. You're allowed to be able to take one lap out, just as Chad was mentioned. You don't want to travel a long ways, pay an entry fee, and get a flat tire on lap number 1 and then be eliminated from the race. And that's why they have the free lap rule, allowing you, if you have a little bit of bad luck, to be able to take a lap off, kind of recollect yourself or fix your problem, and then try to be able to win the bike race. Young collegiate rider Samantha Clark winning in Sunny King. Rebecca Lang writing for that brand new Winston-Salem team, or not brand new, but an expanded Winston-Salem team, picking up second there. And it was Michaela McPherson picking up third. Yesterday at race number 2, the Cuban riders picking up first and second with Quevedo and Praderas. And then it was the very experienced Erica Carney finishing up in third. And remember, Erica Carney in that white jersey, she is your winner here from 2 years ago.
Frankie, I know this is inside information, but you and I were talking to Jamie Carney. I don't know if you were there or not, but he was talking about how Erica is still a little bit apprehensive, and a seasoned bike racer can be apprehensive. So maybe she'll open up mentally a little bit.
There's a reason, though, she's a little bit apprehensive.
Do tell?
Taking some time off the bike, having a child, and then gradually coming back to the sport. So she took some time off and then has made her way back in and has been gradually racing better and better as it goes through. Sitting on the back of there right there is going to be Grace Wilson doing a good job.
All right, we're getting down to the business end. We're going to do the mid-race preem on the next lap. All right, Frankie's got somebody to ring the bell. We're going to do 10, 7, 5, 3, and 2 points. Not this lap, but the next one. Shannon Koch back on the front after going to the pit. And you can see right now it's kind of chilled out. Crashes have a way to disturb the peloton, so they're all just kind of recycling mentally. The mid-race preem is coming up next.
Rachel's going to be ringing a bell as we're going to do points. Mid-race points. Go ahead, Rachel. Ring that bell. Let them hear it.
Points preem, points preem, points preem on the next lap. Points preem. Ten, 7, 5, 3, and 2. All right, let's take a look. Who's going to get the 10 points? It seems like there's a pretty good discrepancy of who and what teams. Bikers, Kingdom Elite, Flicker, Piedmont also up near the front. All right, they're heading down towards turn 3, done. Turn 4. A long way to go from 10, 7, 5, 3, and 2 points.
Points on the line, points on the line. Ring the bell, Shirley, ring the bell. $100 preem, $100 preem, $100 preem, preem, $100 preem, $100 preem, $100 preem, $100 preem.
Hey, Frankie, just as an FYI, Kingdom Elite again, another rider got maximum points. So every one of their teammates are accumulating points at a rapid pace.
That means they're all going to be moving up in the overall, aren't they? Because the points that you make during the mid-race and later on go towards your overall. And so that's something that they're thinking about. They're trying to stack the top of the overall standings before we go into our speed week and the later races.
Yeah,
Shirley, excellent job. High five.
We haven't really talked about Justine Thomas too much, but she gobbled 10 points. So again, another rider stealing points from other teams and stacking the deck for Kingdom Elite. And somebody's day was made. They get to ring the bell.
She said giving her to be the bell ringer has made her day, and now she feels better after being offended for you calling her old.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's how I felt the same way. I felt the same way. But we're good now, so it's all set.
Are we square?
We're square. $100 on the line right now. We're getting ready. What's your name?
Heidi.
DeAndre's ringing the bell. $200 preem. $200. $200. $200. $200 preem. $200. Chad, we're giving away money left and right. We're trying to break this race apart, but they're not getting into a breakaway.
No, because here's what's happening. Everybody's on their back foot waiting for the team in purple to take the initiative, and that's exactly what they're doing.
They're taking the initiative. They're winning all the money. They've won every single sprint. So I don't know what we need to do to be able to get a breakaway going, but right now these riders need to stop sitting back and allowing Kingdom Elite to dictate what's happening in the race, and that's exactly what's happening, and credit to the riders in the purple jersey.
I tell you what, Kingdom Elite is going to need a wheelbarrow to get the cash back down to Florida. A solid mix of Latina and South Floridian. All right, we're closing in. All right, we're closing in. 11 laps left to go. And Frankie literally is showing me dollar bills. And, of course, that was Raider number 134. That was Jetty Perneras. So, Jetty for Kingdom, how much is Kingdom 1? They've won every preem. That's a lot of dough. Maybe, just maybe, they will invest in some property with all that money from 75 Jackson Properties. Little condo here in the downtown area. Perpinion Project Mutual Fund. Pretty impressive from the ladies in purple. And again, watch for the women in purple. They've literally seized the front of this bike race. And Shannon's going to take a point. Ten to go. 10 laps to go. Well, the Kingdom Elite team is taking my North Carolina education cannot go through how much cash they've won. I mean, we still had the Ratificacy Wellness Preem, Doug and James Augustine. Jim Thomason from 75 Jackson gave us cash. It's just relentless. Somebody's going to have to make Kingdom Elite work. What, Frank, you're going to give away more money, huh? This is crazy. Let's just do 200. $200 cash preem. 200, 200, 200. $200 cash preem on the next lap.
So you see some of these riders kind of like throwing their bike because they get a point a lap. Every lap you lead, when you cross the line first, you gain 1 point. Now, it's not a lot, but for some of the riders that are down in 6th, 7th, and 8th, those little points can add up to 10 or 15 extra points, which can bump them up probably into the top 5. Obviously, you got to be able to do something at the end of the race. 200 points for the winner, 190 for second, 180. The big points come at the finish, and that's what these riders are thinking about. But right now, we've been ringing the bell so often and giving away so much money, they just have dollar signs on their mind.
I am seriously doing an Augusta golf clap for these women from Kingdom Elite. Really taking the race by the throat.
Coming out of that final turn, that purple jersey on the front. Can she stay on the front? Hey, the other thing with sprinting for these, you get an idea of what you need to do in order to win the race. You find out what gear you need to be in, when you need to be able to take off, and that's going to be Kingdom Elite again on the front, picking that cream up. As Ailina Quevedo, your overall USA Crit leader, picking up another preem.
Could you use one of these bike wheels to replace your flat trailer tire?
It's all for science.
There's an unreal feeling to get lifted up by 4 leaf blowers. That is pretty cool.
Bring it loud. Ringing a bell, $300, $300 preem, $300 preem. $300 preem to the winner of the lap. $300, $300, $300. Preem, 300. Rider in the back hanging on for dear life right there. That was a fast lap. You saw it was strung out in one. When they're, what's your name? Shannon, excellent job ringing the bell. $300. What color jersey is going to win the money? Yeah. There you go. Newnan's learning. Purple, right? So far, every single preem I have put into one envelope going to the purple team. But this last lap, there was one rider in a white jersey that was a little bit further in front, I think from SCAD. Now she's got a purple jersey on her. Heidi Perderas has been tackling this, and so we're going to find out if the Kingdom Elite can pick up another $300 preem.
Wow, Frankie's throwing out cash over cash, and then we're getting closer to the next sprint points. Well, looks like Coke is on the attack. And this could be the straw that broke the back of the peloton. Points preem on the next lap. There goes the time trialer and Shannon Coke.
Points. One rider up the road. Points.
Well, Shannon Coke has thrown out the gauntlet and has some serious fitness as we go into this week. She raced like a banshee last night, and today she's doing the same thing again. Last night, Kingdom Elite. Tonight, looking pretty good for the team in purple.
Now, Shannon Coke is a very strong rider, a good time trialist, so she finds herself off the front. She's also a multi-time national champion. She's won nationals many times, and she's looking to be able to stay away. So the question is, can she stay away for the next 5 laps?
Yes. 5 to go. There goes Coke. All right, so there is some steadfast movement here by Supra and Team Flicker. Now Scad's involved. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together from South Florida to Newnan, Georgia, with 4 to go. Shannon Coke on a mission. Ladies, you have 4 to go, 4 to go, 4 to go. Now Flicker, gone to the front.
One rider remains off the front all by herself. Nobody's been able to chase them. They've been very aggressive. They've been winning a ton of the money, and now it's Shannon Coke on the front. Newnan, cheer on. She's trying to be able to go solo, battling all by herself. Make some noise. Shannon Coke on her way, trying to be able to win the 2025 Rockin' Road Criterium with 3 laps to go, 3 to go.
And right now, she has communication with their team director and team manager. He's given her time splits in her ear so she knows exactly how hard to go and when not to go hard. 3 to go, ladies. 3 to go. Don't be surprised now if Kingdom Elite doesn't send all their riders in the front to try to sweep the podium. Right now, they're just kind of in the way, which is exactly what their job is to do, to dissuade the chase. But don't be surprised if they don't send all their riders to the front to try to lead out Ailina.
Sitting on the back of that group, struggling a little bit, is Janelle Prito. Janelle Prito had a crash. Her shorts are all torn up, and so she's feeling the effects of that right now. A lot of times when you crash, you get up, you got the adrenaline going, you hop back on your bike and you start going. But again, once you get about 5 laps in, that adrenaline starts to go away, and then the soreness starts to set in, and it really hits tomorrow. But right now, the Kingdom Elite rider sitting on the back starting to be able to struggle. Who's not struggling is Shannon Coke. Kingdom Elite, that team out of Florida right now, bringing a full squad here to Newnan to make sure they're going to be successful. And they're going to see 2 laps to go. to go, Shannon. 2 to go. 25 seconds is your gap. 25 seconds is your gap.
And that was a $100 gambler preem for Shannon. So a $100 gambler, and Frankie, another $250 field gambler preem. $250 gambler preem for the field.
Two to go, riders. 2 to go.
Hey, 2 threes. Your results are now posted. 2 threes. Shannon Koch, one would guess this is probably one of the bigger wins of her career. There's one thing to win a national championship in Masters, but to win a USACRITS race, I'm guessing she's going to put that up pretty high. Pretty important.
Coming up next, right after this, we're going to have our pro men's race getting ready to be able to come up. In the meantime, we're our leader with our pro women. 60 minutes of racing, we're down to 7/10 of a mile for your Newnan champion. Ring that bell, Shannon Koch. 1 lap to go, 1 to go.
Hey, Frankie, Shannon is all business. I'll be curious if we get a big smile from her.
I hope we get a big smile from her. She's going to be crowned the champion here. $250 on the line, and we're ringing the bell with 1 to go. 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go.
Hey, Frankie, Kingdom Elite just went 1-2 in the Gambler Preem.
Why in the world did that SCAD rider not just ride 2 pedal strokes harder to be able to pick up that money? You got to pay attention to what's happening in the race.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect opportunity. When Shannon comes around, let's give her a big hoo-yah, because this is a massive win for Shannon. She has notoriously been a workhorse. Well, today, she's the champion horse. And ladies and gentlemen, here comes Shannon Koch. And nobody in the photo.
All eyes right now coming out of that final turn. Here's your sprint, Chad.
Sweeping the podium. 1, 2, 3. Kingdom Elite. 1, 2, 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, smiling last night. Hey, gentlemen, we got to make way. Let the ladies come through, please, so we can do a post-race interview. Hey, Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And we're doing call-ups, guys, so we're staging you back at the crosswalk. Staging you back at the crosswalk. Seriously, guys. So we're going to get Shannon here for the post-race interview. Shannon Koch, Kingdom Elite. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Seriously, thank you. We're going to be staging you guys back at the crosswalk. Right there. Oh, where? Maybe we can get the guys from Kingdom Elite to get on the horn and tell Shannon to come around here because we want her moment in the twilight. There's a lot of celebration going on in purple. Thank you, guys. Here she comes. Let's see if we can get a big smile from Shannon. There it is. Well, Shannon, I couldn't say how hard you've worked for the team relentlessly and continuously for years. Where does this win stack up for you here in Newnan?
It means more than anything, honestly. You know, Elena had a great day yesterday, and the team worked so well together, and it really, you know, we had a tough weekend last weekend, and we came out and we were just determined to get it together, and, you know, everybody's laying it on the line for each other, and it's really awesome to see. You know, we're more than a team, we're honestly a family now, so it's easy to sacrifice for each other when that's the motto you have, so.
So tell us a little bit about the strategy. Today, Frankie and I thought that you guys were trying to take points and stack the top of the leaderboard. Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah, like the point sprints were definitely a priority. And, you know, you guys kept bringing preem after preem after preem, and so we were kind of like, well, we're up here, we might as well go for it. So it kind of made every lap sort of like a mini sprint, so it made the race fast for sure. But, I mean, the ultimate goal is to win the race, but definitely to stack up points for the USACRITS overall as well, so I think we were.
You're not a selfish rider, that's clear. But be selfish for this one moment. You've won national championships, but this has to be really up there winning the 75 Jackson Properties Newnan Crit.
Definitely, you know, we were on Instagram last night and saw the guitar, honestly, and I was like, that would be super cool to have along with Elena's belt. So I was kind of hoping for that, so super excited. This is my first time in Newnan. It's a great atmosphere. I know the crowd is really into it, and it's just, yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Last night the team won the belt. Today they get the guitar and a ton of cash. Ladies and gentlemen, for Kingdom Elite, Shannon Koch.
What an incredible ride, our pro women. Congratulations. Now as we get ready to continue the final event here in Newnan, our Rockin' Road Criterium presented by 75 Jackson Properties. So as we're getting ready for our final event, I'd like to be able to start off with our rider introductions. Some of the fastest riders from around the nation, an international crew, all coming here to Newnan. This is your pro-man, and we're going to start off with your winner on the first two USA Crit races. He won at Sunny King. He won in Hateville. Coming out of Austin, Texas, he goes by the Cowboy. Please welcome Lucas Burgoyne. Lucas plays to the crowd. He rides for the crowd, but he wins for himself. Finishing up second overall in our standings. And guess what? He's only 10 points back. Coming off a fourth at Sunny King and a third at Hateville. He's a young gun riding for SCAD, Sam Meyer. Coming down from the Midwest, Bloomington, Indiana, to be exact. Coming off a fourth place yesterday in Hateville. He rides for Foundation, Fergus Arthur. This next rider has been a previous national champion from Columbia. He had a fifth place yesterday, currently sitting fourth in the overall standings. Weimar Roldan. A teammate also riding for Bikers, also coming from Colombia. Took a win in Puerto Rico just last month and has now traveled here to Newnan. Jaime Castaneda. Only 30 minutes away, living in Atlanta, coming off a third place at Sunny King. Currently, he was second overall last year in the 2024 USA CRITS Series, riding in the green jersey, Michael Garrison. This is a Newnan race with a hometown rider. Riding for the Baseline Project, please welcome Michael Zinman. Riding for Flicker. Last year, he won the very final day of Speed Week. He's only 22 years old, Caleb Ledgrebe. This next rider hails from Cuba, has been living in Athens, Georgia for a very long time. He was your winner right here on Newnan on the very first year in 2023. Please welcome Frank Travieso. Rest of the riders to the line. Riders are going to give you final instructions. We're about 1 minute out, 1 minute out. Your neutral zone is right in front of you on the left-hand side. That's where you're going to go for a free lap. Free laps are over with 7 laps to go. No more free laps with 7 laps to go. Do not ride backwards on the course. You can cut the course. Make sure to have a safe race. If you're out of contention, you may be pulled right after your race, immediately after your race. Top 3, podium right here in the street along with our pro women. Want you guys to have a great race. Have a safe race. 30 seconds. We're 30 seconds out. A big thank you to Newnan Police Force heading out as they get a little bit of a head start. They don't realize how fast you guys can go around the corners. I guarantee you can probably catch them. Let's give them a little bit of a head start. Newnan, you ready for the Pro Men? Fastest riders from around the nation as we're getting ready to go. on the whistle. We're underway and we're doing a bell. Preem, 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 preem.
All right, everyone, you guys can officially now exhale until we get into the bike race. Congratulations to Shannon Koch for getting a big win. Now it's on to the men. Hey, the question is, can Kingdom Elite go back-to-back and upset Lucas Burgoyne?
These guys are going for 70 minutes of racing, a little bit of an hour. You saw the pro women's race. It was pretty exciting, them going after all those preems. We have just as many preems, and that's our Newnan police force leading them through. Right behind is going to be our official motorcycle, and we got money on the line, money on the line, money on the line.
All right, looks like Flicker.
Caleb Landgrebe picking that up.
Caleb's had a great night last night. Tonight, Team Flicker picks up the first preem of the night. Compliments of USACRITS and 75 Jackson Properties.
So Caleb Landgrebe, only 22 years old. I talked about him winning the final race last year, a speed week. Strong rider, pretty fast rider, picks up that first preem, puts some money in his pocket. Next few laps, they're going to kind of suss things out, see how things are going, because then we're going to be getting into our first point sprint. And once again, 5 places deep as it's 10, 7, 5, 3, and 2. Looks like a breakaway trying to be able to form, activating off of that sprint.
Was that Burgoyne in the first move already? I think Lucas has already jumped in the break. He must have been in every single move last night, trying to find the right dynamics and the right politics that would work. Lucas rode like 8 people yesterday, but his teammate Fetzer rode even better.
Yeah, yesterday, though, one rider to watch out for, he made a huge mistake, is Michael Garrison. So Garrison missing out on a move yesterday, and now we have one of our young guns going up the road. That's going to be Peyton Burkle. Peyton's a previous national time trial a junior national champion.
On to kind of a pipeline team to the EF Education team, rocking the pink kit. I think the future is bright, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a fan of World Tour Racing, watch the Americans tomorrow in Paris-Roubaix in the juniors and in the senior event. And a bunch of juniors here are racing that are in their late teens and early 20s. All right, here they come in a serpentine fashion, back to normal and square one. Foundation's climbing to the front of the bike race now. All right, so Francisco Andreu is going to find a friend to ring the bell. Only his mom and his dad and me can call him that. So Frankie's going to head over, grab somebody to ring the bell. We're going to do a points preem on the next lap. He's searching. He's searching. For those of you who are watching on the live stream, Frankie likes to get fans of the race to ring the bell for a preem. And he was denied again. Searching, searching. Frankie's found a soul. Hey, thanks to the Newnan police for giving us a lead out, guys. Thank you so much. Newnan's finest leading that first lap.
Riders were given a point sprint, point sprint, point sprint, point sprint. 5 places deep, 10, 7, 5, 3, and 2. Point sprint.
So the first 5, it's 10, 7, 5, 3, and 2 points on the next lap. Look for all of our favorites to be around there. Squire trying to squire rate points. Team Cadence will for sure have one of their riders up near the front.
Gave away cash on lap number 1. Now we're giving away points on lap number 5. Got a lot of money to be able to give away a little bit later on as well. Once again, a big thank you to Sonoya and, of course, 75 Jackson Properties, our presenting sponsor of our Rockin' Road Criterium. What a great festival day. Points on the line. I think it's going to be Fergus Arthur picking up points. Right behind him, one of the SCAD riders. That's going to be Javier Lopez picking up 7 points. So the rest of the riders all strung out, following in line.
Frankie, those 3 that went after that sprint points, they attacked and it looked like they had bad intentions to try to get away. They were going plus 10 to the front of the bike race. Louder. Come on, that is a poor effort. I want to hear. If you're watching us on the live stream, everybody's singing, but they're doing it under their breath. Louder. Keep it going. One more bar. Wait for it. Frankie, are you okay? Are you down with this? You going to sing along? Oh. Okay. All right, here we go, Frank. You ready? What? The smell of what? Oh, you guys at Newnan, thank you. Warm my heart. Give you guys a round of applause. Well done.
Looks like that pink jersey, Peyton Burkle, made it into that group. Green jersey is going to be, looks like a dark green jersey, a flicker. Yeah, I'm going to try to be able to get those numbers next time they come around. Hey, we're cheering you on. Hanging in the back right there, that's going to be Abel Roseo.
Like I said, when that preem happened, that group of 6 riders jumped, and that is a big gap between some strong dudes. Here comes your break, ladies and gentlemen. One's trying to get across with a massive move. So Biker has made the junction. Is this everybody? Nope, there goes the Colombian trying to get across as well. Now, I'll be honest, I'm very surprised by that because Biker already had a rider in that group, and that second rider from Biker is literally dragging everybody with him. Yeah, we're efforting right now. Frankie and our officials are efforting, trying to grab everybody's names. In the darkness, when it goes from dark to light, the numbers kind of get askew, so it's really hard to pick up. Oh, man, this is like a big mess happening right now.
Peyton Burkle on the attack right there. Fergus Arthur going after him. 26 trying to be able to get up there. That's Preston I paying attention to what's going on. Preston I yesterday, he would have had a good race, but he broke his handlebars in the race. Luckily, he didn't go down, but the handlebars cracked in half on him, and so you can imagine that would end your race. He's got good legs and good form, and Preston I showing that off right now, trying to be able to get into that breakaway, trying to be able to stay in the front.
Frankie, when you and I worked together for the first USA Crits many years ago, Preston was just a junior, and now he's kind of made his way through the ranks. First of all, he was hanging on, then he was pack fill, and now he's at the sharp pin of the bike race. So good on you, Preston. If you're not sure, you can obviously turn around and take a look across the street from the main stage. We've got the live stream up, really sharp and crisp. If you're interested, you can take a look at the whole race as it unfolds. Looks like Team Cadence has got a rider in the move. Yep.
Looks like a little bit of destruction happened on that backside. Not sure if they're going into the pit, but or the pace just picking up, and so riders now suffering. A lot of attacks going on. That last lap was a hot lap. Brian Hill going through right there. Decided to do the Pro 1-2 race. Normally races in the Masters races, but so much activity, so much money, and the points. These guys are averaging about 30 miles. They're breaking the speed limit on your roads here. 100%. They're going around these turns faster than any car could take these turns. And right now, got a lot of racing still to go as Foundation and looks like Flicker is on the front. 3 riders trying to be able to separate themselves.
Hey, Frankie, I forgot to ask you. If you had to guess one rider on Team Cadence that was up the road, could you give me a name?
Is that Fetzer?
Fetzer.
He had an incredible ride yesterday, Luke Fetzer. We're going to ring the bell, though. We're going to see. I got a feeling maybe they're going to sprint, maybe they won't sprint, but we're going to find out. It could be the last preem. Ring the bell. $100 preem for you guys, $100 preem. If you don't sprint, it's your last preem. If you don't sprint, you will never get a preem again. $100 to the winner of the lap, $100 to the winner of the lap.
And Frankie, Team Cadence is playing a dogged match where anybody that tries to go up the road, there's a Team Cadence rider on his reel.
Look how they're spread out across the road. They're slowing down right here. When it's side to side, when it's barrier to barrier, that means they're not going very hard and not going very fast. When it's one long line and it's strung out, that means they are going fast. So pay attention to that. The shape of the group determines how hard they are going. And when it swells up, they're going slow. And when it gets in one strong, one lean line, one single line, that means they're going very, very fast out there.
So here's something funny that we did yesterday. When Team Cadence won, I said it was a clinical approach, and then on Instagram last night, I did a picture of a doctor, and then I put in all the team riders from Team Cadence Cyclery. Well, they turned around and one-upped me. If you want to follow them, it's Team Cadence Cyclery. They did like a comical sketch of it with all the riders standing around. I think it's Burgoyne in a doctor's kind of outfit. It is brilliantly funny. So follow them.
Look at this. Look at this big sprint right now coming in. That's what we like to be able to see. $100 on the line. You guys will get more preems on 100%. Look at her not stopping. They're trying to be able to catch the SCAD rider, Javier Lopez, by surprise. So now the rider in the white and yellow has a big gap to make up. Main peloton, these guys are getting closer. You see here? You see how it's in one long line? That's the difference. Last lap it was bunched up. This time it's all strung out.
Presented by Capital One and REI.
Frank Pip, ironically enough, Frank attacked so hard that when he stood up and his knee hit the top of the bicycle, the top tube, he dented it. That was insane. He goes, yeah, Chad, I dented my top tube while I was racing. And I'm like, what? To dent a top tube takes an incredible amount of force.
$200 preem, winner of the lap. $200, $200 to the winner of the lap. $200 preem, $200 preem, keep ringing. $200 preem, keep ringing. $200, ring the bell. $200 preem, $200. So these riders are going for 70 minutes of racing. So what they do is they calculate the first 20 laps, let's say, figure out how long it's taken them, then they extrapolate it out, and then we'll put lap cards up there. Once the lap cards are up there, the riders will know exactly how long to the finish. When they get to the finish, it will equal out to be 70 minutes of racing. So the beginning is by time, but then they're going to put up laps, and they're going to know exactly what they need to do and how long till they get to the finish line. No, we are only 21 minutes into the race, and it's a 70-minute race. So, no, it's going to take another 20 minutes until we might see a breakaway. Right now, everybody's got fresh legs. These guys are used to riding an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. So 70-minute Criterium is short. It's all anaerobic. It's explosive. It's fast twitch muzzles. It's sprinting out of the corners. You got to take time to let these riders fatigue. Once they tire out, that's when we're going to see a breakaway and maybe see somebody going up the road. In the meantime, $200 on the line. Look at it spread out across the road. $200 up for grabs. How about $100? $100 preem. Fetzer picks it up. $100 preem, $100 preem, $100 preem, $100 preem. Luke Fetzer sacrificed himself yesterday. He made it into the breakaway, and he rode on the front the entire time, helping his teammate, Lucas Burgoyne, the overall leader, to be able to win.
Hey, Frankie, I want to ask a quick question to you. There's one rider that I think might have been a little frustrated by last night. He's raced by himself last year. He pretty much had USACRITS Speed Week done and dusted. Then a technical thing caused him to lose it. Garrison rides with fervor and passion, and if he doesn't win a bike race, he's going to race harder the next day. So right now, I think Michael Garrison, who is always on the sharp end of a bike race, will do the same. He will put on a show starting now.
So I stand corrected. That was Richard Holick from Caden. Same team. I thought it was Luke Fetzer, but it was Richard Holick that picked it up. Rider out of Czechoslovakia. There's Garrison now going up the road.
Boy, that's funny. Weren't we just talking about him?
Just talking about him. He messed up. He had a big mistake yesterday. Now he's on the attack. Picked up $100 with that move as well.
You know that sound of a submarine that's starting to go down and starting to do a deep dive, and it makes that big noise like rare, rare, rare. When Michael Garrison goes up the road, that's what happens inside of the peloton. Internally in their brains, it's like rare, rare. There goes Garrison. That's probably one of the worst analogies I've ever given in my entire career. In my brain, it sounded good. When it came out of my mouth, not so much. But it's true. I mean, when Michael goes, panic ensues.
That rider off the front right now, Michael Garrison, spent 3 years racing in Europe, doing a lot of the big road stages, going off on doing 5-hour rides, 6-hour rides, and 5-hour, 6-hour races, and then coming back to the United States, and then trying to be able to get picked up on a bigger team, but really came onto the scene last year in spring at these races, at the USA Crit races and Speed Week. Talked about him finishing second overall, but he would have won except for a technicality on the very last day of the series, and that's what gave him second place. So a big mistake last year, and now Garrison is waiting for someone to come up to him. That is about a 10-second gap. Michael Garrison on the attack, a 10-second gap. The green jersey of Garrison all by himself.
And that does not shock any of us. The problem with Michael Garrison not the rider himself, is that he has no teammates. So he's got like a 75 enemies out here. If he had teammates that could help him with the win, Michael is strong enough to win by himself, but right now he does not have the amount of help. So they will just probably let him sit out there and wither on a vine for a little bit. Burgoyne was second that lap, followed by Andrew Scarano, Jaime Castaneda, Para, Martinez, Halleck. Boy, that's an international top 10 right there. Here comes Michael Garrison. Look at this. Just by himself, he's pulling away. Oh, there comes a counterattack from Foundation. Scarano, Ains, Burgoyne, and Martinez, your top 5.
Ringing a bell for this group, $100 right here, $100 winner of the next lap. Got to catch him, $100 this group right here. $100 starting with the Cleveland Cycling Academy rider. There's nobody else around, we're all done.
Hey.
Empty roads, no bells, nobody's listening. Excellent job, though. Excellent job.
You guys should know that Frankie gives and he takes all in the same moment. Michael Garrison rolling away right now. Again, the teams are measuring Michael Garrison. But you know what? If you give him enough rope, he'll hang you.
We doing points? Are we doing points? Hey, are we doing points? Points now? No. All right. Hey, Michael. Little chat in the park. Keep her going. That's Michael Garrison going through.
Frank, it's so frustrating to look at him. He doesn't even look like he's nose breathing right now.
Well, if you got this long, you still have 30 minutes of riding, so you're going to ride at about 80% DDP on the front right there. So you're not going to be giving 100% riding on the front. You're riding at about a 75 to 80% effort, waiting to see if someone's going to come up to you. Because if these riders in the back, if they commit themselves, if these guys in the back with fresh legs go 5 laps hard, they will bring back Garrison no problem at all. So Garrison has to save something. Here's that $100 sprint right now. Lots of racing still to go.
We love to have the VIP. All of you guys are VIP here at the Rock and Road 75 Jackson Properties. Here comes Michael Garrison in full time trial mode right now, racing against the clock. All right, so next lap we'll get a time gap. Gentlemen, you have one up the road, one rider up the road.
Once again, I'd like to be able to thank Sonoya Bicycle Shop Giving us a ton of preams to be able to give out all day long in many different categories. Again, a specialized retailer. You can head over there, find out Sonoya Bicycle Shop. They have electric bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, you name it. 2 wheels, head on over to Sonoya. And a big thank you for their donations to all of the preams here at our Rockin' Road Criterium, brought to you by 75 Jackson Properties.
Guys, our next race coming up is going to be in Greenville, South Carolina in about a week and a half. Yes. Next weekend is Easter, and then, Frankie, you booked your flight? Then after that is Athens, the granddaddy of them all. I think on average it's about 25,000 people watching that race. It's insane. So Michael crossed at 31 flat-ish. So, guys, it's about 17 seconds. All right, Frankie, I'm going to challenge your former pro / team director. What gap are you comfortable with for Garrison being up the road? None? With the caveat that you know that there's a bunch of teams chasing.
With the caveat, there's a lot of teams sitting in doing nothing right now. They're going to wait till a little bit later on. I'm thinking he's going to need maybe 45 seconds. I think Garrison, 45. I think 30 seconds is not enough, 45 seconds, because you got to remember when the teams start to go, Garrison should get report that gap is starting to shrink, and then he will start going harder. Garrison right now is on a training ride, riding at about 80% effort, and he's going to be hoping that these guys all watch each other, that they're marking each other, and that will neutralize that main group and not allow them to be able to chase him back down. A lot of racing still to go. Honestly, I don't think Garrison's going to make it.
Nope, I don't either. But what Michael does want is he wants a rider from all the strong teams to join him. Then he has friends, if you want to call it that. So, Michael, the gap is 17 seconds. And you see how Michael did that? Beginner cyclists, they kind of turn their head and look over their shoulder. No, savvy cyclists look under their armpit to take a look to see how fast they're coming from behind. All right, now Team Cadence has said, Frankie, Team Cadence and then 4 foundation riders are right behind. So I think they've had enough of Michael Garrison. Well, here's the demise of Michael Garrison, potentially, is that Frankie's getting ready to get somebody to ring the bell for a preem, and that's a points preem. So Michael will go steady, whereas all the racers will sprint for those points. That can close the gap in half in a blink of an eye. Sprint points, sprint points, sprint points on the next lap. Man, these guys are disappearing from Garrison. Very surprising.
Points are 5 places deep, so Garrison obviously in the front does not need to be able to sprint. Garrison out of Atlanta, but these riders, point sprint, point sprint, point sprint. 4 places available, 4 places available.
Hey, Frankie, I made an astute observation. Andy Scarano for Team Flickr was what we call riding tempo. Not really hard, not really easy, just somewhere in the middle. And he was in front of the chase group. So clearly something's going on where they're confident they can bring back Garrison. Me? Man, if he gets over 45 seconds, I don't trust it.
Mid-race points, that means we're coming up on the halfway point. That's going to be 10 points going to Michael Garrison. Again, he didn't get super strong. Normally, he is always in the breakaway, and he wins bike races. Yesterday, he missed the breakaway, didn't finish in the top 10. Very uncharacteristic of him. Have no idea what happened or why, but he's making up for it right now. We're going to be ringing a bell for the field as they're getting ready to come through. Chris, ring that bell. Ring it loud. Ring it. $300 preem, field preem, field preem. This group, $300 field preem. David Gutenplan seeing him, the rider out of Florida, $300 for that main field. We're going to find out who's going to be able to pick up more cash. Here's our field come in as we're getting ready for a $300 preem. $300 on the line. Looks like a green jersey, a Cadence. That's going to be, I think, Fetzer coming through, unless that's Holick. That's Richard Holick once again.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Holick. Followed by Burgoyne, Crab, Clever Martinez, who is a very strong rider, always near the front, but we haven't talked about him this week very much.
Two riders trying to be able to get in the break. Again, that's Richard Holick, rider out of Czechoslovakia, on the attack. He's joined alongside of Marcos Mendez. Mendez second yesterday in Hapeville, a super strong rider as well, as they continue to be able to push that pace. That Foundation cycling team really expanding into a very powerful team for 2025. Mendez coming out of Argentina. Had an incredible ride last year at the Armed Forces Classic. Won 2 stages at Chicago Grit and won the final race of the 2024 calendar year in Bucks County.
All right, so the time gap right here, Frankie, 30 seconds. All right. 30 seconds is still the gap right now. Garrison's holding on, but the cavalry is coming, and uh-oh. What's up with Fetzer? I think Hollick might have a mechanical. Let's watch that.
Garrison on the front, picking up a victory earlier this year in a gravel race, a longer race. $100-mile race on the gravel as Garrison picked up that win on the gravel. So if he can win a 100-mile gravel race, you know he can be able to have the power to be able to do something here in the Criterium. All-arounder, absolutely. And right now, look at him. Head down, getting arrow, powering through. Coming up on almost 45 minutes of racing, it's Michael Garrison.
30 seconds, 30 seconds. Hey, Frankie, I don't know if you heard me or not, but Hollick came off the back and he was radioing the team from Team Cadence. So look for number 44 to see where he is.
Oh, we got a rider right here from SCAD getting ready to be able to go in. He still has time to be able to get that free lap. One thing for sure, cycling shoes are not made for running.
All right, the big question is, where's Hollick?
Well, that's Justin Frambez making his way up to be able to take a free lap. There's Hollick.
He looks like he's chasing, though, not going into the pit.
He's off.
Like I said, he was off the back and he was radioing the team.
Yeah, but normally if you're off the back, like you seem like you're dead, like you're tired. You're not you're not riding flat out trying to be able to chase. So what's going on with the rider from Cadence with Hollick? I have no idea what's taking place out there. Very weird.
Yeah, as Frankie said, normally you would never see somebody ride that hard after they've gone off the back. It means they're done. So maybe a mechanical, but he would have gone into the pit. So very interesting. Garrison off the front.
Now, one thing to remember is that Lucas Burgoyne, your overall series leader, is on that Cadence team. He's on that green jersey team. So if Hollick is off the back, that's one less rider to be able to help out your overall series leader to be able to do well a little bit later on. Very much cycling is an individual sport, but it's also a team sport. You have riders that are helping to keep you out of the wind, moving you up to the front. You can imagine as guys are attacking like this, if you're the leader on the team, you can't respond to every one of those moves. You can't keep jumping after 25 times after a rider. So you have your teammates control things so you can stay rested in order to show off your sprint a little bit later on. And that's exactly what Lucas Burgoyne is trying to be able to set up to be able to do. Yeah, something going bad with Richard Hollick, and he's going to be done. Maybe he's going to go into the pit. I'm not sure, but I got a feeling something obviously did not go his way. He was in the breakaway right behind Garrison, and so you don't go from being in the breakaway and being that strong to all of a sudden being off the back. So maybe he's sick. Call me Watson. I'm figuring this stuff out. There you go. Come on, Michael, doing a great job. 30 seconds and holding steady. "13 laps to go. Lap cards are up. Michael, you got 12 laps to go. You're going to be able to do this. 12 laps to go. Starting to be able to run out of time for many of the other teams trying to be able to chase.
All right, so Michael crossed at 46:27 on your race time. So let's just see where that time gap is. All right, here they come fast and furious. Ladies and gentlemen, the gap is coming down. Here comes the stampede.
$500 preem, field preem, $500, $500 field preem. This group, $500 field preem.
Wait, did you just say a $500 field preem?
$500, and they're either going to explode going for the sprint and not be able to catch Michael Garrison, or they're going to pick up so much speed on this next lap that they're going to reel in Michael Garrison. So.
And you know what Foundation is saying to you right now because they had 5 riders on the front.
Yeah, they were trying to get organized and be able to gradually reel him back in. Let's set a nice steady tempo. So, yes, we are screwing up Foundation's plans, but somebody's going to pick up $500.
Yeah, so Spanish was rotating at the front, and it's pretty much in Spanish was saying, did Frankie just ring the bell while we're getting organized? That is brutal.
Right behind him, though, you do have the Cadence riders as well.
I guarantee you that Frankie was really disturbing to his siblings. There's Garrison, 16 seconds. Watch this. It was all red at the front. That ain't going to be the case this lap.
That's Foundation coming out of that turn in the first. Can he stay on the front? The wind has died down, so it's not so much a tailwind or a headwind in the sprint. $500 on the line. Look at this. This is a big, big sprint. Mendez trying to be able to hold him off. I'm giving it to Mendez, I believe. Mendez and Fetzer, but unofficially, I think it was Mendez that picked that win up.
Now, let's look on this next lap to see what the gap is right now. The question is, does Foundation kind of recycle? Does it recycle and they reorganize, or do they really just step on the throttle? Devil be damned in this scenario. It was 17 seconds. It's not going to be 17 this lap. We can watch. When Michael comes to the finish line, they're making the turn. That's a generally good idea to tell you how far they've made. Man, that was brutal. 500. That's great, great, great way to make the race. But, of course, now the Peloton's sitting up. Make Chad look dumb. There's Garrison. Let's watch to see when they make the turn. He knows that they're coming. He is stiff-arming. He's doing the Heisman right now. And a lot of times that happens. And I said, the $500 is going to disrupt Foundation's chase. And now they all sat up. Now they're back organized again. So sometimes the preem helps the chasers, and sometimes it screws it all up. So on this lap, 100% guarantee it's going to be all red on the front again. Red, red, red,
wow.
Red, red.
Lucas Burgoyne, your overall leader in a blue and red, kind of like a purplish color. He's on the team that's in the green, but he's sitting behind all of those red jerseys of Foundation. So very well organized as Foundation. They picked up $500, and now they're trying to be able to reel in the sole leader, Michael Garrison.
All right, so Frankie, you've been a team director for some big crits. There's usually a team that is supposed to be the boss of the Peloton. In this scenario, do you think the Peloton's like, hey, Foundation, you got to send all your riders to the front because we aren't going to do a thing?
I think Foundation has decided to be able to do it. I think they feel confident that they could be able to win this bike race. Yesterday, they got second with Marcos Mendez. Yep. They know they can do one better. The problem is the thorn in their side is Lucas Burgoyne. So, going to be interesting to see how they're going to play out as they're coming through.
There goes Garrison. When Michael comes around next lap, just give him some love. The kid has been burned in some major matches. And, Frankie, that's a brilliant point. Lucas Burgoyne, the current overall leader, doesn't have to do a thing. He's in a What do you call that? An Adirondack chair or Muskoka chair or whatever, just sitting back chilling.
Sitting in a lazy boy, just waiting for the
Lazy
foundation.
boy.
So he's going to be able to save his riders for that lead out. Remember, they did lose Richard Holick, so he's not going to be able to be there. 9 laps to go, riders. 9 to go, 9 to go, 9 to go. They got to try to be able to time it, but they can't wait too long because they got to be able to take back the seconds. Maybe that's something we need to keep track of. How many seconds are they bringing back each lap?
Here's another interesting point, too. It's all red. They are burning up their soldiers right and left. The next team behind them is going to be green, green. Then the third rider is not going to be in green, but he races for the team in green and Team Cadence. He's wearing the overall leader jersey from Jackaroo. So they're just sitting there like, hey, you guys bring it back, and then when it comes together, they're going to explode the bike race, theoretically. Tactics galore. Chess match, not checkers. All right, now's your opportunity to Garrison a little bit of love with 8 to go. Michael Garrison, 8 to go. Are you serious, Carcelo? Well, you're for the field.
Riders about $100 preem, field preem, $100 field preem, $100 field preem, $100 field preem.
Hey, Frankie, Foundation literally shook their head at you when you rang the bell. And you fans out there, whether it's on the live stream or here in Newnan, watch the colors. The colors tell you everything. Pretty soon, the team in red, Foundation, they're going to lose one rider. They're going to lose another rider. They're going to lose another rider. How many riders do they have left over? A, to catch Garrison, and B, to win the race? I'm going to tell you right now, that's one of the hardest things in the world to do, is burn your team up. Hey, Frankie, beverages on Corsello tonight? Is that what that is? All right, here comes 7 to go. He crossed it 54:05. Let's watch that time gap. Right now, it's Michael Garrison against Foundation, and Garrison is winning it.
$100 on the line, $100 on the line.
Hey, guys, 32 seconds. Look at the head shaking. They've got to be going a lot faster than that. They have to do what United Healthcare used to do back in the day and just burn everybody out the back. When you see riders coming off the back, you know they're going fast enough. Right now, nope.
I got a feeling right now they're setting it up for second place. I'm not sure they can bring back Garrison, so they would be able to make sure they can get second, third, maximum points behind the first place points of Garrison. Free laps are over. Free laps are over.
So, Frankie, in 10 minutes, they got to pull back. Oh, no, this is my North Carolina education. The gap is 35. You guys can figure it out. There's 10 laps. I mean, there's 6 laps left to go-ish. Laps are a minute and a half. His gap is 30 seconds. Cash Preem. Cash Preem on the next lap. And a points Preem. Point sprint. So we got a point sprint coming up next. Garrison clearly is going to get 10. Oh, okay. Now Foundation has got it in 5th gear. Watch guys start coming off the back. Coming off the back. Yep. Point sprint. Point sprint. Point sprint. You see that? Slowly, there's starting to be a little bit of gap in the back. And now Lucas Burgoyne, can I say infiltrated the group of foundation riders? He's kind of mixed himself in the middle there. Again, the gap will tell you everything. Foundation on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders. Not fast enough. Not fast enough. There's Garrison with 5 to go. Nope, not working. This has got to be a lot faster. Gentlemen, you have 5 to go, 5 to go. Inside of your brain, I want you guys to be thinking on the live stream here in Newnan. Does Garrison get caught or not? You see the clock. I hear a lot of no's. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Garrison's party, and you guys are invited.
He knows he's got a pretty good victory sitting in front of him. All he's got to do is not flatten, not crash. Foundation still continuing to line it up. The gap is enormous right now. They're trying to be able to hold on. Setting it up, second, third, fourth. How many places can Foundation reel in? Because right now, I do not think they're going to be able to bring back the incredible ride that Michael Garrison has put in right here in Newnan.
Gentlemen, you have 4 to go, 4 to go, 4 to go. All right, so here's what's going to happen in my prediction, and I hope Frankie argues against it. Eventually, Team Cadence figures out that it's not coming back. So what the team in green is going to do is what we call swamp the lead-out train. So they're going to jump the team in red, and it's going to be a battle for the front. And they're going to try to lead out Lucas Burgoyne. Watch it happen.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got to
don't think
remember
it's
that
gonna
Foundation
happen?
riders have been out there for
You guys
lap
are
after lap
crazy.
doing that work.
It's
Cadence
gonna
sitting
happen.
behind, staying rested. 3 to go, Michael Garrison, 3 to go.
All right, so the Foundation guys looked at me and gave me the Control-Alt-Delete. They don't think it's going to happen. Maybe not this lap, but I think it's going to happen. I love being right, but I love being wrong too, and that's the beauty of bike racing.
Starting to get a little bit dicey. Foundation slowing down. You see how it's not in one long line? You see how it's starting to bunch up? That's an indication that things are slowing down. That's when the crashes happen. Guys trying to be able to fit into gaps that aren't there. So that's going to get a little bit tricky. At some point, Lucas Burgoyne, I agree with Chad, he's going to tell his green jersey riders to go off in front of everybody else and try to be able to go as hard as you can for the final 2 laps. So right now, the green jerseys of Cadence need to get organized right now, sitting right behind that of Foundation, who's doing an incredible job trying to be able to bring back our one sole leader and Michael Garrison.
Here comes Garrison, Frankie. Give him the bell for 2 to go.
Gambler Preem, Gambler Preem.
Gambler Preem, 250. This is fun. So much fun. It's like a battle of wills right now between Team Cadence and Foundation. I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody try to attack right now. Ding, ding, ding.
Ringing a bell, $300 Gambler Preem, $300. $300 Gambler Preem, $300.
Hey, Frankie, so I saw that Fetzer's not in there, so right now Team Cadence has only got 2 guys to help Burgoyne. And maybe Foundation, because of that, can hold off the crew. Nope, now the team in green, Team Cadence, is now starting to make their way towards the front.
Getting ready to see 1 lap to go. Our race leader is going to be coming through. Hey, Newnan, make some noise. There's our referees. Here's your leader ringing a bell. 1 lap to go, 1 to go, 1 to go.
You think Michael Garrison is happy?
So the key now is Garrison's going to pick up 200 points. Lucas Burgoyne needs to be top 4 in the sprint. Marcos Mendez needs to be top 4 in the sprint. Otherwise, Garrison could take over the overall lead. So we're going to have to pay attention to how that works. Ready to ring the bell again? What's your name? Luke, my official bell ringer for the final lap for the pro men. And we got $300 on the line right now. $300 up for grabs. Ring the bell, ring the bell. 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go.
Oh, now I take that back. Fetzer's back in the race after a mechanical. He's there to lead out Lucas Burgoyne. Well, it's all done except for the celebration. And Michael Garrison, if he's nothing, he's gregarious. Let's just use that word. He is going to be super pumped, getting a big win. It's really kind of like a stick it to you kind of thing because he's flying solo this whole week. I hope this kid enjoys this. Ladies and gentlemen, your rock and roll champion, Michael Garrison. Now it comes down to Burgoyne, and it comes down to Foundation. Mendez and Burgoyne, everybody's fighting for points. Foundation still has a stronghold on the front. Here they come. Who's going to pick up second? Lucas Burgoyne, followed by Biker. Catanero gets the third. Hollick with a big effort considering he had a mechanical. Michael Garrison of MGR.
Did you use one of these bike wheels to replace your flat trailer tire?
It's all for science.
There's an unreal feeling to get lifted up by 4 leaf blowers. That is pretty cool.
Mr. Thomason, very nicely raced, right? Was that a lot of fun? Thank you to Jim Thomason. Of course, the crew at 75 Jackson Properties. Everybody put your hands together for Mr. Thomason and the whole 75 Jackson Properties team. Where is Michael? Well, well, well. I'm just going to ask you this straight out of the gate. Was that sweet redemption over last year and last night?
Yeah. I race as a privateer, and a lot of times it's really hard. I have full teams riding against me, and I'm out here on my own, and I mean, I love it. I'm super grateful to the team and the sponsors, and I mean, everyone that lets me be able to race my bike. And it's really hard on your own, and I feel like I've stood on the podium a lot, but not very often on the top step. And I don't know, it's just tonight it feels like everything came together. And I'm from Atlanta. I grew up in Decatur, and I think to be out here is really special. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to my family and Beat Studio and Nikki and Chad and everyone in Atlanta who I've been riding with since I was a little kid. And yeah, this is just, I went big, and it's just really special. So yeah, thank you, everyone.
Well, let me ask you this. I've been around commentating, and I've seen you race so many times, but you're extra emotional tonight. Tell us why you have this feeling.
I mean, I've been racing my bike for a really long time, and I spent a couple years in Europe, and I just felt like I could never really put the pieces together to the beautiful puzzle that is racing a bike. And you know, especially in crit racing, like, it's so much of a team sport. And again, I race independently. I race on the gravel, I race on the mountain bike, and you know, crit racing is just one aspect. And for me, I think it's probably the hardest as a independent racer. And I feel like getting it done in a way like this, where I just you know, took a big risk, and you know, those big risks always pay off. So yeah, I'm happy.
A team of one, tears of joy. Your winner for Speed Studio, Michael Garrison.
Thank you, everyone.
There you go, Atlanta's own Michael Garrison with your win tonight. All right, we're going to get to the women's podium here pretty quickly.
Caleb, are you here? Sorry, Caleb Landgrip. Flicker, stop moving.
All right, we're just moments away from our women's podium. Tallying up a couple things, then we're going to get a printout, and then we're going to get on to it, our women's podium.
Looking for Ames. Is Ames, who just did that race, pro men? Ames, are you around?
just hang in there. Wait, that's the top three? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for our women's podium. Without further ado, of course, we have Jim Thomason here for 75 Jackson Properties. Cast of thousands, Danny Beck, of course, with the race. And Thad Fisher for the Jack Crew Leaders jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, in third place, racing for Kingdom Elite, please welcome Jenny Praderas. In second place, racing for Kingdom Elite, please welcome last night's winner, Alina Quevedo. And your winner tonight, you probably can guess which team she races for Kingdom Elite. Welcome, Shannon Koch. All right, so Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Jim Thomason, after this, we're going to get a photo. All right, Thad Fisher is going to present the Jack Crew Leaders jersey and winner's jersey. There's your top three. Now, Mayor Pro Tem, also with 75 Jackson. That's what Shannon wanted the whole time. All right, Shannon, you got to strum that bad boy. Play it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Shannon Koch. Thank you, ladies. So that's your top three. Hey, Shannon, don't go very far. And ladies and gentlemen, your overall leader for Kingdom Elite, Alina Quevedo. After 3 races, ladies and gentlemen, out of Cuba, señoras y señores, Alina Quevedo. Now I'm going to pass it off to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Francisco Andreu, to do the men's podium.
Moving on to our pro men that just finished an incredible ride. Like to be able to start off in third place, riding for the Baker cycling team. It's a bronze medal ride. Jordan Para. Coming in second, riding for Team Cadence Cyclery, Lucas Burgoyne. And going away solo, being the strongest rider on the day with no doubt, your 2025 champion right here in Newnan. Please welcome Michael Garrison. Three champions all together on the podium. Once again, Garrison on the top step, followed by Burgoyne and Parra. These are your Rock and Roll Criterium Pro men. Being awarded the winner's jersey here in Newnan. Michael Garrison pulling that on, final part, zipping up the jersey. And then the celebration continues as an incredible race covering almost 50 laps in 70 minutes, speeds of almost 30 miles an hour. Garrison going solo. Here's your 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I'd like to be able to present it. Definitely don't want to go home without that, Michael. Jim Thomason presenting the winner's guitar, bike, Coweta, and the flowers. A super unique prize solely here in the Newnan Criterium. Now you're done. Excellent job. Treasure that guitar. One of the great prizes that we have here on the USA CRITS series. In the meantime, I'd like to be able to call back up the Cowboy, keeping the overall lead after race number 3, Lucas Burgoyne. Thad Fisher, one of our directors with USA CRITS series, presenting the jersey to Lucas Burgoyne. Team Cadence. The team in green dominating their efforts towards keeping our Lucas Burgoyne in the lead, your 2025 leader after 3 races. Thanks everybody for coming out. My name's Frankie Andreu. For Chad Andrews, hopefully you had a great time. We absolutely did. The festival continued all day long and we wrapped up with our pro men. Look forward to seeing you in 2026. In the meantime, please drive home safely.
Did you use one of these bike wheels to replace your flat trailer tire? It's all for science.
There's an unreal feeling to get lifted up by 4 leaf blowers. That is pretty cool.
Welcome back to the 2nd Annual Outside Festival, presented by Capital One REI.
Surf's up, y'all. Get ready for splashes and crashes as I try to ride tasty waves with pro surfer Cassie Metter.
Surfing is about being in communication with the ocean.
I caught eyeball.